Namaskar my dear friends. Let us try to understand RS485 transceiver interface. So we'll see two applications as well using two of the ICs. However, almost all the ICs in this RS485 transceivers by any manufacturers, they will be having almost same pins and their configurations. So we'll see what are the different pins configuration and how it can be used. As you know, there are several applications where RS485 communication interface is used because of its robustness, or its a high immunity to noise, and it is very simple to design as well. Okay, so implementation is quite simple, and RS485 transceiver is very popular because of its high immunity to noise that I already told you. Okay, so let us try to understand how we can interface very quickly any kinds of RS485 transceivers. All right, so as you can see, we will have half duplex. Half duplex means, let us say this is the RS485 transceiver IC. So as you can see, we have RO. Okay, so RO is receiver output. Okay, so if this is working as receiver, then receiver output will be RO. Then RE bar is actually receiver output enable pin. So if it will be low, then it will be enabled. So it has to be low to make it enable. Okay, like it has to pulled low. D is driver enable. So if it is working as transmitter, then it will have to be pulled high to make it enable. Let's say VDD. Okay, and this is data input. So data input is basically the input of data will be provided at this DI pin. So basically what happens, receiver output, that is RO, will be connected to our UART RX. Okay, because UART is one of the interface which will be working as receiver as well as transmitter pins. Two pins will be there in UART, RX and TX. So my RS485 transceiver IC RO, that is receiver output, will be connected to UART RX of the microcontroller. Same way DI will be connected to UART TX. So UART TX will be transmitting the data, and that data will be given to the DI pin of RS485 transceivers. Okay, and this is how it will transmit the data to outside world. Now two more pins are there in half duplex we are seeing right now. So if you see A and B, so A is actually non-inverting and B is inverting. Okay, now these two pin will be acting as a driver input, driver output as well as receiver input. Okay, so when this is working as transmitter, okay, this half duplex IC is working as transmitter, then this AB will be acting as driver output. Okay, so driver output. Now when this will be acting as receiver, so let's say this transceiver IC is working as receiver. Okay, receiver is enabled. In that case, AB will be acting as receiver input. Okay, so receiver input. In the same lines, the receivers will be acting as a input line. So AB will act as a input. Okay, so this is what the half duplex was. Now in full duplex, almost all the ICs will be having same configuration, same pin numbers and all. So as you already know, RO, RE bar, DE, DI, all these pins same configuration and same names and same functionalities are there. However, it has two extra pins which is YZ. So YZ and AB are now having separate functionalities. Okay, so in this full duplex case, AB will be acting as receiver input only. Okay, so A will be acting as receiver input and YZ will be acting as driver output. Okay, so this will be acting as driver output. Understood? That's it. So in half duplex case, AB was working as input as well as output both. However, in full duplex case, AB is acting as receiver input and YZ is acting as driver output. And remember, in YZ, Y is non-inverting driver input, non-inverting driver output, and Z is inverting driver output. Now AB is, in A it is non-inverting driver input and B is inverting driver input. Now what is inverting and non-inverting, that we have to understand. So let us say we'll just try to understand in the next figure. Let's say I have a driver input signal which is going to be go into this. So this is the UART TX that has been transmitted. So now let's say this is acting as transmitter. So how the signal will appear at AB? So these are driver output. So this A is non-inverting. It means the same signal will be as it is. Okay, understood? Uh, let me make it complete so that you will be able to understand proper. So the same signal is input and same signal is there at the driver output as A, non-inverting. Now B is inverting. It means whatever low is there and this is high. Okay, so low will be high and high will be low. So at B it will look like this. Okay, understood? So this is what called inverting and non-inverting outputs. Understood? So that's all. Now you have understood what are the different signals. RO, that is receiver output, RE bar, that is receiver enable, DE, that is driver enable, and DI, that is driver input data. Okay, now GND is your ground pin, VCC is your power supply pin. So based on the recommended value of this power, this IC, you will have to give a power supply. For this particular IC, it is capable of working at 3.3 volt as well as 5 volt. So we will be giving 3.3 volt. If you want, you can give 5 volt as well, no problem at all. Okay, and you can see AB. So in half duplex case, AB will be acting as driver output as well as AB will be acting as driver input in receiving mode case. Okay, so when receiver is enabled, it will be acting as receiver. When driver is enabled, it will be acting as transmitter. Okay, now these two, receiver and driver, can be put together by a IO pin. Okay, GPIO pin. So what will happen? Let us say I am going to pull it high. Okay, make it high. So in that case, what will happen? Receiver will get disabled, driver will get enabled. In that case, it will be acting as transmitter. Okay, so this is very simple. How? If you make it high, it will act as a transmitter. Now if you make it low, okay, so what will happen? You are going to enable the receiver. So RE bar has been pulled low. It means it is going to act as receiver because driver enable is pulled low and it has been disabled. Okay, so this will act as a receiver. So it will be acting as receiver mode. Okay, and in that case, in receiver mode case, A and B will be acting as a receiver input. Okay, and while transmitter, A and B will be acting as driver output. So this is very simple. This is how it works. And similar to that, for full duplex case, both of them can be enabled together. So this can be pulled low and this can be pulled high. Okay, and this receiver output can be connected to my UART RX of the MCU, like microcontroller, and this can be connected to my UART TX, and A and B will be going to have the inputs. Okay, like non-inverting and inverting inputs, and Y and Z will be having the driver output. Okay, so this is how it will be connected. All right, so that's all. So if you try to implement this particular IC, same concept will be utilized in any of the manufacturers RS485 transceivers. So if you want to implement this, let us quickly understand. Let us try to see that we are going to work as a transmitting mode of this particular IC. Okay, so what we have done is we have connected my RO pin to my data output, which is going to be my UART RX. Okay, so it will get connected to my UART RX pin, and DI is connected to my data input pin. So it is coming from UART TX. So UART TX is transmitting the data to DI pin. Okay, and permanently both of them have been pulled high. So receiver enable has been pulled high. It means it is disabled, and driver enable is pulled high. It means it is enabled. So it means it is acting as a transmitting mode. Okay, now if you want, you can connect these two pins as like GPIO pins, so that they can pull it high or pull it low based on the mode that you want it to work. Okay, now this is acting as transmitter right now because both of them have been pulled high, and I will make it not used. Okay, not used. Okay, so in that case you have to make it not used, otherwise it will be pulled high also and low also, so this will be non-determinate state. Okay, so make sure both the resistors below are not used. Okay, they are not mounted on the PCB board. Okay, now power supply I have used 3.3 volt with 10 microfarad capacitance and 0.1 microfarad and 1 nanofarad filter capacitors. Okay, now coming to the fact that ground is grounded here, and AB is going to get terminated through 60 ohm resistance. So 120 parallel 120 60 ohm, and they have been also pulled low with 120 ohm, but they are not used. So if you want, you can terminate them by 120 ohm, so that there will not be any no load condition. Okay, and they will go and get connected to our D sub 9 pin connector, which will be pin number 3 and pin number 7. That's all done. Same way, if you want this to work as receiving mode, so in receiving mode what you have to do is you have to make sure that both are not used, these are two are not used and these two are used. Okay, and same way it will get connected, it will act as a receiving mode, and A and B will be acting as a receiving inputs. Okay, so this A will be non-inverting receiver and B will be inverting receiver. All right, coming to the fact that full duplex, so this is my full duplex. So in full duplex, nothing, one will be acting as, let's say, master MCU, so it has UART, so UART TX and UART RX. So data 1 is going to get connected to UART RX, and this will be going to get connected to UART TX. Okay, and it is acting as a transmitter, means both of them has been pulled up. Okay, so it is acting as transmitter. Now this AB signal is going to go out as driver output. Now this is acting as a receiver because both of them have been pulled low, like receiver input as a receiver enable as well as driver enable. So this IC is acting as a receiver input. Okay, so in that case what will happen, this will act as a receiver, and this will act as transmitter. It is not full duplex, it is still half duplex because same IC has been taken here. Okay, and both of them are going to get connected together so that they can do the purpose of receiving as well as transmitting both. Okay, and this slave UART, okay, is going to get connected something like this. My UART RX will get connected here and UART TX will get connected here at driver input. And if you see, B2 has been connected to this B2 and A2 is connected to A2. So this is acting as transmitter, this is acting as a receiver. So this is complete, like a loop back that you can draw together. And this is not full duplex IC, this is half duplex IC only. Okay, but put together both the ICs are working as full duplex. Now we'll see what is a full duplex IC configuration together. Now if you see full duplex IC, so in that case what will happen is similar to the half duplex IC, we will get it will get connected to UART RX. My data out pin will get connected to UART RX of my MCU, and my data input will be get connected to UART TX of my microcontroller pin. Okay, and it has been permanently pulled up the driver enable pin, and receiver enable pin has been pulled low, so that it will act as transmitter as well as receiver. And if you want to disable them, you can connect these IO pins to our microcontroller GPIO, so that transmitter and receiver both can be disabled based on the requirement. Suppose you don't want this IC to work while in ideal phase or something, then you can disable this. Okay, now only one change that you can see is it has little bit more number of ground pins, so both of them are grounded, ground 1 and ground 2, and similar to that 2 are supply pin, so VCC1 and VCC2 has been supplied with 3.3 volt. If you want, you can keep it 5 volt supply as well, it will work because this IC is capable of 5 volt output as 5 volt supply as well. Okay, now for receiver input, what is done is we have connected 120 ohm here, make it 60 ohm. Okay, and here also you make it 60 ohm. Otherwise you can put one more parallel series resistor, so that one more parallel resistor of 120 ohm, so that 120 will become 60. Okay, as we had done in earlier. Now this is going to go as a receiver input, like this is non-inverting receiver input, this is inverting receiver input. So A1 and B1 will get connected to the receiver inputs of our D sub 9 connectors. Okay, similar to that, Y and Z will be driver output for this full duplex IC, full duplex transceiver. Okay, so Y1 and Z1 will get connected to the transmitter, like driver output of the D sub 9 connector. That's all. So hope you have understood. Same configuration or same idea will be utilized for any of your RS485 transceivers IC. If you only know the pin definitions and what is their functionalities and what is the full like range of the power supply of this particular IC. Alright, if you do have any questions regarding RS485, please let us know. We will be able to answer you out properly. Thank you so much.